Yay. Welcome to Shipwreck Library, where we talk about shipwrecks and libraries. Remember when our first date you looked so much like Matt Hooper? I was like, ooh, baby, I'm so in love. Hello, welcome back to my booktube channel, Shipwrecked Library. My name is Rachel if you're new here. Why don't you go head down to the description where you can find all my social media. We can link up there and be friends. And while you're there, you can leave a comment and you can like and maybe subscribe. So today I have a very blunt to the point video. I have a giant stack of books in front of me. All the books that I have not read yet in my physical library. Well, not all of them, but most of them. And I have this, TBR cart where we're going to pretty much rank them from most want to read, kind of still want to read, I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, read. The first two books that I'm going to mention I actually don't even have in person just yet, but the first book is Vampire Academy. It's gonna be on the top tier when I eventually get it because I'm going to be reading it in December for the Vampire Academy read-along. That is hosted by a whole bunch of people. I'll put all of their faces, their lovely, beautiful faces on the screen, and I'll leave a link down to their Twitter. I'm really, really excited about it. I've never read Vampire Academy, but I am vampire trash. And I heard that that's actually one of the older paranormal romances that kind of stands up to the test of time, unlike Vampire Diaries or Twilight, so we'll see. And then the other book I haven't ordered just yet. I might get it on Kindle, I don't know. Either way, it's also going to be top tier because I'm going to be reading it December with a Discord group that I'm in from Ridima's channel. It's my favorite Discord that I've joined so far that is book related. If you are really into adult fantasy, I highly recommend it. I'll put a link down below if I can, if she lets me. I don't see why she wouldn't, but I mean, I should clarify with her before I actually go ahead and do it. I really enjoy it. I've been having a lot of fun. There's memes. We talk about Wheel of Time and the Mistborn series and Cosmere Universe and all this other stuff that eventually I'm going to read so I can be part of those discussions. So those are the two books, Vampire Academy and Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter, that aren't here, but trust me, in spirit, they're here. So all these books, I'm just going to start grabbing them. I don't have them in any specific order. You're going to see my in real time decision-making skills because I don't know. I'm just gonna go with what feels best. First up, we have Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I actually pre-ordered this and still haven't gotten to it, which is sad because I'm really excited about it. I read Trail of Lightning and I was really, really hyped on that. And Rebecca Roanhorse just has a really unique writing style and she was really good at characters in that book. So I don't actually really know what this book is about. The tagline says, "A god will return when the earth and sky converge under the black sun." It also has like a beautiful like map in it and everything. So I'm going to put this at the very top of the TBR. I really want to read that. Hopefully I can read that either in November or December, hopefully before 2020 ends, but who knows what's going on with 2020. The next book, this one just, it was right there, so I had to pick it, but this is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. It's the first book in the Mortal Instruments series. You know what this is about. Everyone knows what this is about. I just really want to get to this and I want to try it because I want to be one of those people that reads Cassandra Clare. I don't know if it's going to be any good. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be any good, but this is another one that I actually don't know anything about. When Clary Frey heads out to the Pandemonium Club in New York City, she hardly expects to witness a murder. Dun dun dun, who knows? I'm gonna put this in the mid-tier. It's going in the mid-tier just because it's a backlist title. It's not something that I have to rush to get to. There's a million books in that series, so who knows when I'm gonna get a chance to read all the other books. I think I'll save it for like a reading vlog or something. Does any other person with long hair when they're filming, you just can't help but touch your hair constantly? Next book, Abaddon's Gate by James S.A. Corey. I've talked about the Expanse series like by and large in my channel a million times already, so you should already know that I am continuing with the series and I'm so excited to. I want to try picking this up before the end of the year too. I just have so many other books that I'm reading. I'm waiting until I kind of burn out on fantasy to be able to pick up a sci-fi again and get a nice little break, but right now it's gonna go top tier, baby. Who's surprised? Here's a controversial one, kind of, I guess. A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. This has been getting a lot of buzz all over the book community just because some controversial stuff was included in the book. I saw an excerpt of writing that was primarily focused on locks and people of color, and it was not great to say the least. But I've also heard a lot of people coming out and defending it, and I've heard that the author apologized and she's going to be rewriting that scene, or future publications of the book aren't going to include that, so that's really good. I was initially pretty excited. This is basically Harry Potter, but like death involved. I think it's about a girl that goes to the Scholomance, and she is learning magic and stuff, but everyone's dying everywhere. That's really all I know about it. I am going to put this on the bottom tier for right now, just because it's really short, so I think I could get to it and I could get through it really quickly, but I'm not drawn to it in any sort of way right now anymore because of everything that I heard about it. I kind of want to watch some more videos and I want to like wait for everyone's opinions to pass. I'm someone who's like very heavily influenced by what other people think. I don't try to be, but I can't help it sometimes. So if I hear a lot of positive or negative things, it just all gets jumbled in my brain. All right, I'm just gonna get a whole stack of books right out of the way. The 5th season Broken Earth trilogy. This is a super popular series on BookTube right now as well, and Kay Jemison is a really, really, really beloved writer. Just gonna go ahead and say it, it's gonna go in the top tier. I'm really excited to get to that series in my end of the year TBR, which I didn't do that long ago, so. Okay, Miss Novik. She said you better shut up. Just mad because she's the first one in the lower tier. Anyway, in my end of the year TBR, I basically said that I want to get to that series really bad, and I still hold by that. I just have started so many things already, so I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but it's going up there. It's gonna get read. All right, so The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I got this for 50 cents. So hell yeah. I'm not super interested in it right now. Let's see. Harriet Wenger, scion of one of Sweden's wealthiest families, disappeared over 40 years ago. All these years later, her aged uncle continues to seek the truth. He hires Mikael Blomqvist, a crusading journalist recently trapped by libel conviction, to investigate. He is aided by the pierced and tattooed punk prodigy Lisbeth Salander. Together they tap into a vein of unfathomable inequity and astonishing corruption. Sounds really cool. I'm really into it. Sounds like a book my dad would read if he hasn't already. Like I said, I got it for 50 cents, so like, come on. But I am going to put it in the lower tier just because it's not related to any content that I have upcoming and planned. I don't know when I'm gonna eventually get to it, and it's another first book in a series, and I have so many series to start. And it's a bigger one, so bottom tier. Not that being on the bottom tier is necessarily a bad thing, just it's not something I'm prioritizing. Also, if you have suggestions or if you think I should read one of these before the other ones, just comment and let me know and I will probably listen to you. Alrighty, Kristen Hanna's The Great Alone. I've never read a Kristen Hanna book and I've heard really, really phenomenal things about her writing. This one is about a young girl that goes to Alaska with her family, and I believe that her dad might be like an alcoholic. It's a drama, contemporary, hard-hitting kind of novel, and I don't read those very frequently, but I do like them sometimes just because it's another break from like fantasy, sci-fi, fantasy. That one's not a fantasy, but still, you get what I mean. Sometimes you just need a good like book that's grounded in real life. So this I'm gonna put in the mid tier. We're gonna get to her eventually. So I have Vicious by V.E. Schwab. By the way, this was gifted to me by my lovely friend Jess. Thank you so much. I love you so much. You're the best person in the whole wide world. She's not a booktuber because there's many Jesses on BookTube. Sorry, she's just a friend from my real life. But she bought me this, and this is the last V.E. Schwab that I am going to try reading, and if I don't like it, I'm just gonna have to not read V.E. Schwab anymore. What I know about this is that it's kind of like a dark academia supernatural kind of setting. It's about Victor and Eli, who were college roommates who discovered a way to get extraordinary superpowers by almost dying or like dying and then coming back to life. And it's like a villain origin story. I'm gonna put it in the top tier. I'm excited about it. It looks really short too. My friend Paige is a big fan of that book and I really trust their opinions, so. I forgot that sitting on the ground was gonna make my legs and my feet go numb. All right, The Poppy War. A lot of books from my end of the year TBR are showing up in this because they didn't change. I didn't read that many books recently. But anyway, The Poppy War. I think everyone knows what The Poppy War is about by now. I really, 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 really wanna read this. It is going on the top tier. I need to get to it soon. Where the Crawdads Sing. This is getting a movie adaptation, so I really want to get to it. It is a murder mystery novel, but also has a girl who like learned how to live in the wild bush all on her own, like a survivalist kind of story. If this is your first video of mine, I really don't read descriptions or know too much about books before going into them. I like the plot synopsis enters my brain, I buy the book, and then it just kind of sits around until I figure out that I want to read it. So sorry that you're not getting very good descriptions, but It is what it is. Got this for free. A guest at my hotel noticed that I was reading something at work and she was like, you like reading? And I was like, who? Why? You don't even know the half of it. And so she just like whipped this book out and was like, do you want this book? And I was like, I want every book, thank you. So she gave it to me and I still haven't read it, and it was like a year ago. I'm gonna put this in the mid tier because I am excited about that, and I can see that being a book that I pick up for like a readathon if I ever do a readathon. Who knows? It could fit a prompt, I'm sure. I'm just gonna talk about two books that are super obvious. Iron Gold and Dark Age. You already know where I'm putting these. They're going on the top tier. Iron Gold and Dark Age are the continuation of the original Red Rising trilogy. I have talked about the Red Rising trilogy nonstop. One of my favorite trilogies, if not one of my favorite trilogies of all time. Probably just like really high up there. So those are top tier. I have to get to them. You know what? Let's just get these bad boys out of the way too. Oh my gosh. It's the Mistborn series. I'm going to read this series. I've already read the first one, but I'm gonna reread it. Maybe with Nicole and Katie, we might do a buddy read. Who knows? We could get to it, but I really want to get to these. I want to read those so I can move on to the Stormlight Archive series so that I can be in that fandom, because that fandom seems really fun. I'm running out of space in my top tier. I have to stop buying books. This is another random Kristen Hanna that I found just in my laundry room. It's gonna go on low tier. I don't even know what it's about, but Truthwitch by Susan Dennard. I got this for $3 and I think that the covers are really interesting. That's primarily what like drew me to it, because I don't know what this is about. In the Witchlands, there are almost as many types of magic as there are ways to get in trouble, as two desperate young women know all too well. Sophia is a truth witch. Okay, well, you know what? I'm already sold. I know why I bought this, because it looked really cool, and I think it's a young adult fantasy. I don't read as much young adult fantasy as I used to, but still want to give it a try here and there. I'm gonna put this on the mid-tier list, just because I am really excited. Unpopular opinion, but I love the shiny, plasticky covers of books. I don't know why, I just think that they're like enjoyable to hold. What am I trying to say? We are nearing the end, you guys. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books left. Just kidding, we're not. We're close to the end, I guess, but. To Sleep in a Stars by Christopher Paolini. This is a first contact with aliens novel about a woman who discovers an alien artifact, and then suddenly aliens are appearing out of nowhere and humans get into a giant galactic war with them. That kind of story, you know? I started it, I got 200 pages exactly, and then I stopped reading it for some reason. I think I was just bored with it a little bit and I wanted to pick up something new. I soft DNF books a lot. Like, I have no issues soft DNFing. I don't have any issues like hard DNFing either. That has never been something that's really been difficult for me. So I just wasn't feeling this, so I ended up putting it down. I do want to pick it back up. It's a huge book though. It's like 870 pages long, and I already read so many really, really long books, so I'm gonna put this in the low tier. Sorry, Christopher. Commonwealth by Anne Pratchett. I don't know. Maybe I'll read this just to make Jake proud. He's an English student, I think. Literature student. He's in college. R.F. Wist. A Gift from Elaine from 2017. Oh, I have Elaine's book. I don't know what this is about either. I just own it. I don't know. It's pretty, it's cool. I've heard it. It looks like literature. I want to be someone who reads fancy literature. It's going on the low tier though. Kingdom of Copper and Empire of Gold. These are the next two books in the David trilogy. I read City of Brass and I really loved it. I gave it 4 stars. The only thing that I wasn't super into in regards to that book was the romance, and I heard that it kind of course corrects in the next couple books and becomes a lot more of like a political fantasy intrigue kind of novel. I've heard really, really, really great things. This was a very hyped trilogy for a hot minute on BookTube, and I feel like everyone's kind of like already forgotten about it. I do really want to get to it. I think that I'm gonna put it in the mid tier though, just because I don't. A plane. Hey guys, if you ever move out, get your own place, go apartment hunting, Google flight paths where you live. I'm sick of it. I don't even know where I was left off talking about, fuck. Anyway, I'm gonna put these books in the mid-tier list just because I have a lot of other books that I really want to get to, and I don't want to rush into reading these just because I want to complete a trilogy, so. We have The Emperor's Blades by Brian Staveley, yet another fantasy series that I want to start, apparently. I think I bought this too because it was like really, really cheap, so that's my weakness. This is about a king. Well, it's not about a king. The king's dead. It's about his kids, his 2 sons and his daughter, who come together to find out the assassins that murdered their dad, and, you know, political intrigue, high fantasy, crazy stuff is going on. I really like it. I'm very intrigued. I heard good things from, I think, Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. It's older. It's from 2013, so it's very backlist, so I'll get to this eventually, but for now it's going on the lower tier. Same with Fate of the Fallen. I got this because Riley from Riley Marie Reads, I don't remember her username. I got this just because I really like the premise of it, and also it was $3. It's like The Chosen One but gone wrong. Like, it's as if Sam died. No, not Sam. It's as if Frodo died. You know, the chosen one dies, and then the friend has to pick up and continue the quest from there. And I like that trope actually a lot, but I have had this for almost a year now, and I have still not picked it up. It's gonna go in the low tier for right now. Last 2 books. I have The Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco. What is this about? Bone Witch, were feared, ostracized in the kingdom. Cool, so she's a necromancer. This is a book about a necromancer. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is a series of books, like a trilogy, I think, about her who is recounting her life's story as a necromancer. War is brewing in the 8 kingdoms, war that will threaten the sovereignty of her homeland and threaten the, hi Gracie, you come sit in my lap. Cats are so weird. I really want to get to Rin Chupeco as a author. I have heard really good things about this series, and I've also kind of heard like mixed reviews, but the cover's gorgeous, so that's why I bought it. I'm gonna put it on the mid tier. I'm excited about that. I want to try and get back into young adult romance, young adult fantasy. I've taken a big break from it as I venture into... Gracie, no! I've taken a break from young adult fantasy as I venture more into adult fantasy. Thanks, Chase. Last book. Sorry, my legs are falling asleep. Night Film by Marisha Pessl. This is low tier. This is not high tier. I think it's about a director who gets stalked. I'm sorry, that was a really bad description of this book. Lee Child called Night Film hypnotically suspenseful. This is what happens when you try filming at 8 p.m. and you have to work at 11 p.m. You're a mess. I've heard really good things about this, and I've also heard really bad things about this. This has so many mixed reviews that I don't know who to believe. And like I said, I'm very, very swayed easily by other people's opinions. But I also know it's a very dense book. It's like way longer than it actually looks, and it's like mixed media and stuff. I'm not super intrigued right now. So it's gonna go on the lower tier. How much time do I have left? My hair looks like dog ears from that dog from Lady and the Tramp. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I know it's kind of chaotic and a little bit thrown together. My work schedule right now is not exactly lending to me being able to film in a really nice way, but I still want to get content out. It's not like I'm churning out content just to produce content. This was an idea I've had for a while now. It's just a little bit more chaotic because it's really humid and I'm kind of sleepy. Bear with me, guys. November's gonna be a hard month for me. I have so much planned for December and January already though. Like, my YouTube calendar is pumped and packed with good ideas. I hope you stick around. I'm talking to you. I hope you hit subscribe, like, and like I said, leave me a comment. If there's a book on here you particularly love or want to see me read or have any opinions on, let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. That's gonna be it for me today. Bye. Love you.